Hi, and welcome to the Camille Davis Show. Thank you for joining me. And if you have not yet done so, please subscribe, comment, feel free to comment, like, and share. Thank you for being in this space with me one more time. I appreciate you all. All right, so update. Yeah, about a few days ago, about 3 days ago, I did a photo shoot and it was for my acting headshots. I have not done those in a while. And so I was excited. Now I think I have a clearer understanding of what I'm doing in those photo shoots, if you know what I mean. Meaning, I'm thinking not just as an actor, like, okay, what do I want to depict? What character, am I kind of going for? What feel am I going for? And so it was very exciting. And the photographer, his name is Robert Photography. And I think I might just bring him on here because he has so much knowledge and insight, and he helped a lot. Uh, I do have some of those pictures on social media, so you can go ahead and check them out on my Instagram at I am Camille Davis. And yeah, so I'm really excited about that. But the biggest thing is it brought me back to just how I got started. And I realized the journey has been a long one, but I've learned so much. And, you know, I do, all right, so I do interviews with children for their school-based assessment, SBA, and that is, I've now learned that that's now mandatory in high school for kids to do that. So they usually choose an actor that they look up to and they reach out to them and, ask these questions, and it's a part of their final grade. And so I get, asked a lot. I get chosen, a lot, and I'm grateful. But I realize that some of the questions are very common. And some of the questions that I do get asked, how do you prepare for a role? There are some roles that you have to be more intense than others. All right, for example, I've done so many productions. I think I've done over like 24 theatrical productions alone. All right, but I can remember, let me give you some examples. I don't know if you remember a show called Easy Street, and it was based on a dump, meaning like Riverton dump, right? So I remember we all went at the Riverton dump, like literally go down there. Now, if you know Riverton dump, say it looked like Sahara Desert down there. So we had to like, it was fun. It was fun. It was exciting. It was I was I was nervous, to be honest. So we had to like wrap our heads. Some of the girls can put on hat. I think I wore like a hat, glasses, and you wrap up to you leave yeah, like nothing is left out really. And because the dust, by the time you come back out, people run from you because you're white. So we had to cover our entire face and body. And we went on one of the garbage trucks and we went down to Riverton. Listen to me. It doesn't get more real than that. And we were able to observe, and this is all a part of character research. So this is what it takes. Like you're really, really serious about what you're doing and the role that you're playing. You have to really dig deep. You have to live, feel, breathe this character that you're trying to build. Because the more real it is for you, the more real you can present it to the audience, right? So we down upon a dump and we saw how they lived, how they existed. We breathed the air that they breathed. And so we were able to bring that to the stage, not just for the audience to, based on the visuals, because I mean, when the garbage truck coming out, everything dump one place. Clothes, meat, personal items, everything is just one place. And then they kind of scavenge through and pick out what they want. Who want meat? Who want meat? Who want clothes? Who want the scrap metals? That's how it is. And so I can remember really bringing a character. My character was supposed to be uppity and stush and turn her nose up at that kind of the idea of that kind of location, but so she end up. So I had to do that in order to understand what it took to live that way and it become real to me. Another character I played, this one was more emotional and scary for me. It was from a character, Love Games. I don't listen. For those who saw Love Games, you know which character I'm talking about. If you never see it, what you saw would have been the commercials on TV. You didn't see everything. So if anybody watching, if you saw Love Games, please comment. Let me know because only Uno really understand what I'm talking about right now. How intense this character was. It was a review, and so I played 5 different characters. But the last character, listen, I played a ghost. I was in all black, black hair, black clothes, black lipstick, black nails, red hat, and red heels, and a red scarf. And what made this, apart from the script was brilliant, and everything, but what made this more intense and emotional for me around that time, I had lost a family member, and I remember I never went to a funeral before, believe it or not, because my grandma always said, no, pick me not to go to a funeral. So she never brought me to a funeral before. And I had to go, um, you know, because I couldn't come to terms that that person was truly gone. And I also heard that, well, this is from growing up in the country. My grandmother said, don't look on any dead bodies and stuff like that. So, well, if me never did, she never allowed me to go to the funeral. And if you go, make sure don't look at the body. But I had to look again because I had to come to terms with it. And I did. And I remember there was a point in the show when, Glenn Campbell, who was in that scene with me, like him say, lie down. Or no, sorry, I told him to lie down in this very odd tone. And when he did, I, for months, kept seeing the person's face. And I couldn't sleep for months. I remember the directors had to they tried everything. They tried, getting me all different types of sleep aid. It just never worked. And I realized I started having to say the Lord's Prayer before before I opened that scene, just to keep my mind stable and just to get through it, because it started to really play a number on me. And this is how real and how serious roles can truly get when you really put yourself into it too. I remember there's this character, the Joker. I think it was Heath Ledger. And if you know, you know that story and how intense of an actor he is and how intense that role was for him. And he spoke about it, and that is how I could identify with that kind of intensity and as an actor and giving that, losing yourself in a role. It's not easy. One, it's not easy to do, and two, it's not easy to hold yourself back. So you have to have a certain level of control while you're doing it. For me, maybe I have to start pray before me start that scene because it was really bad. So when I get asked that question, I really always tell persons, you have to just really let go of who you are and portray somebody else. You walk differently, you talk differently, you chew differently, little nuances are different, and you try to do those things to move away from who you are and how you operate, because then you will shed your own self and become that other person. I, there are so many different roles. Another one for me was um played Juicy. What's the name of it? Oh, no, remember? Um no, you have to. It was called Miss Won't Tell You. Anyway, so I played a go-go dancer. Hey, so I had to go to a strip club. I had to um kind of see how they do their thing. That was interesting. Because my character she is a stripper, but it's called Ladies of the Night. Ladies of the Night. But she can't really dance. So y'all know how funny that was. So went to the clubs, go back road. If y'all know, y'all know. Go back road, stand up on a corner. I had to dress the part. So I had to see what it felt like to be in that type of clothing or lack thereof and be on the roadside for clients to pull up, see how that made me feel as a person and just being in the outfit because Camille don't dress like that. So even having to put on that type of outfit, the shedding started there because I'm like, okay, this is not me. How do I walk in this? I try to cover and I'm like, okay. So I was becoming somebody else. And not just did it give me a clearer understanding of how I felt in that type of setting or clothing, it also gave me an appreciation for what they do. It also made me understand that you can't judge a book by its cover. I met a lady that night who told me she's sending her daughter to college. Her daughter doesn't know, and she's literally sending her daughter to university. And she said to me, I don't like it. I don't want to do it, but I'm doing this for my daughter. And I remember that was my takeaway. You just don't know what the sacrifice is. And I became less judgmental of that type of work because it is work. Hey, so I learned a lot. And let me tell you something, acting will open your eyes to so many different things because it just gives you a better appreciation of people overall. And that is something I think a lot of actors, personally, I take away from each role. Understanding people more, understanding situations more, understanding why people do the things they do, why it may not make sense to you, but when you're put in that position, hello, please. So, as an actor, you really just have to dive in. No white flags. I hope that helped. I get these questions a lot. And um, for even upcoming actors who want to do this, just ensure that it's your passion and understand that, hey, you have to be willing to just let go and just do it. All right. So please feel free to comment. Let me know if this helped you at all. I hope it did. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. Make sure you subscribe, like me say. Tell a friend to subscribe too. Okay. Bye.